Happy morning, students. This is your RVR sir going to discuss about the applied physics unit 1 interference, that is next concept of principle of superposition of waves. So far we have been discussed the statement of principle of superposition of waves. Now in this particular lecture I am going to discuss two different peculiar cases of the principle of superposition of waves. What are those? The first one is superposition of waves of same frequency and same phase. In order to understand this concept, let us look at the diagram. This is the graph drawn between the two waves of having same frequency, same amplitude with equal phase, not same amplitude, same frequency and equal phase, that's all. So the amplitude of the ray 1, this is the graph drawn between the time along the x-axis and amplitude along the y-axis. Then its amplitude is A1. Let us consider one more wave whose amplitude is A2, and that second wave is represented with the dotted lines on this graph. Let us look at the diagram carefully, then you can easily understand how these waves are superimposed. So dotted lines, amplitude of the dotted lines is A1 and the amplitude of the continuous wave is A2. Then what about the resultant wave? The resultant wave is represented by continuous wave of maximum amplitude, because here in this case the crest of the one wave is exactly falls on the crest of the second wave. Hence, the resultant amplitude A is equal to algebraic sum of the individual amplitudes, that is A1 plus A2. In other words, we can say that the crest of the one wave exactly falls on the crest of the another wave. As a result, we are having the maximum amplitude. In a similar manner, the trough of the first wave, whose amplitude is A1, exactly falls on the trough of the second wave, whose amplitude is A2. Hence, the resultant wave is algebraic sum of the individual waves. If we apply the superposition theorem, then individual displacement is given by A1 plus A2. Here we are having only two waves, hence the algebraic sum of A1 and A2 amplitude is given by. Similarly, intensity is given by, we know the relation, intensity is square of amplitude, hence A square, which is given by A1 plus A2 whole square. If there are more than two waves, then we are having A1 plus A2 plus A3 and so on whole square. This is regarding the amplitude, intensity. Now coming to the displacement. Displacement is given by y equal to y1 plus y2 and so on if any more waves are there. This is regarding the case 1, that is superposition of waves of same frequency and same phase. Now we are going to discuss the second important one, that is superposition of waves of same frequency and different phase. Here all of you observe carefully, not equal phase, different phase. So in order to understand this concept carefully, let us look at the diagram. Similar to the above diagram, here also this is the graph drawn between the time along the x-axis and amplitude along the y-axis. Then one wave is, and the first wave amplitude is represented by dotted lines. Whose amplitude is, let it be A1. And the second wave amplitude is represented by continuous wave, whose amplitude is A2. Second wave is represented by a continuous line whose amplitude is A2. Here, if you look at the diagram, you can easily understand that there is a phase difference between the first wave and the second wave. Let it be represented as small delta. Small delta is the phase angle difference between the wave 1 and wave 2, which are superimposed over each other. Then amplitude of the wave 1 is A1 and amplitude of the wave 2 is A2. Then what about the resultant wave? Resultant amplitude is given by principle of superposition of waves, which is represented like this. Right? So in order to understand the displacement of the resultant wave, in order to understand the amplitude of the resultant wave, in order to derive this is the resultant wave. In order to derive the phase angle of the resultant wave, we have to proceed with a small mathematical expression. That is, wave 1 whose amplitude or whose displacement is given by y1 and amplitude is given by a1. So, which is y1 equal to a1 sin omega t and y2 equal to a2 sin omega t plus delta. Why we have represented delta here? That delta is the phase angle difference between the wave 1 and wave 2, which represents the phase angle difference. Right? Now, apply the principle of superposition of waves. It was given by y equal to y1 plus y2. That is the statement of the principle of superposition of waves. Now substitute these two values in this statement. Therefore, y is equal to a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus delta. Here, if you look at the expression carefully, which is in the form of sin of a plus b. Now, expand it. Then, what happens? Y is equal to a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin, which is in the form of sin of a plus b. Expand it. Sin of a plus b is nothing but sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Now, take the common form. If any common terms are there, take it as common. Here, if you having sin omega t as a common term, take it as a common term. Then what happens? a1 plus a2 sorry, a1 plus a2 cos delta. In the similar manner, we have cos omega t as a common term. Then we have a2 sin delta. For further simplification, I consider those bracketed terms as for the better simplification, further simplification, let the first bracketed term as a1 plus a2 cos delta considered as a cos phi. I named it as equation number 1. Okay. Now the second bracketed expression, I consider it as a2 sin delta. Considered it as a sin phi. Named it as equation number 2. Why we are considering like this? For further simplification. Now let us substitute these values in the above expression. Then what happens? Y is equal to a sin omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin phi. Take a as a common term. Now, which is again in the form of sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Therefore, that can be written as y is equal to a sin of a plus b format, that is sin of omega t plus phi. Named it as equation number 3. So this equation 3 represents the displacement of the resultant wave, which we already represented here. So y equation 3 represents the displacement of the resultant wave. Now I want the amplitude of the resultant wave. In order to get the amplitude of the resultant wave, let us squaring and adding these two, equation 1 and 2. Before obtaining the amplitude expression, I would like to derive the expression for phase angle difference of the resultant wave or phase of the resultant wave. In order to get the phase of the resultant wave, let us divide equation 2 by equation 1. Then what happens? A sin phi divided by a cos phi is equal to a2 sin delta divided by a1 plus a2 cos delta. A will get cancelled, so we only left with tan phi is equal to a2 sin delta divided by a1 plus a2 cos delta. Now we want the phase angle expression, that is given by pi is equal to tan inverse of a2 sin delta divided by a1 plus a2 cos delta. This is the expression for the phase angle of the resultant wave. Let it be named it as equation number 4. Equation 4 represents the phase angle of the or phase of the resultant wave because of the superposition of two waves of same frequency and different phase. Now, in order to get the amplitude of the resultant wave, let us look at the squaring and adding equations 1 and 2. Squaring and adding 1 and 2. Squaring and adding equations 1 and 2. That is a square sin square pi plus a square cos square pi is equal to a1 plus a2 cos delta whole square plus a2 square sin square delta. Now for further simplification, on the left hand side take a square as a common term, then it becomes sin square pi plus cos square pi is, according to trigonometric formula, its value becomes 1. Therefore a square is equal to, now I am expanding this first term of the right hand side, which is in the form of a plus b whole square. I expand it, a1 square plus a2 square cos square delta plus 2a1 a2 cos delta plus a2 square sin square delta. Then if you take a2 square as a common term, then the right hand side expression becomes, that is a square is equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos delta. Then what happens to these two terms? I take a2 square as a common, then we have sin square delta plus cos square delta, again its value becomes 1. I directly wrote it as a2 square, right? This is the expression for the intensity of the resultant wave, that is intensity I is equal to square of amplitude, that is equal to a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos delta. So let it be named it as equation number 5. Equation 5 represents the resultant resultant intensity of the resultant wave. Now I want the amplitude of the resultant wave. For the amplitude, A is equal to square root of a1 square plus a2 square 2a1 a2 cos delta. This is the amplitude of the resultant wave. Let it be named it as equation number 6. So far we have derived the displacement for the resultant wave, phase angle for the resultant wave, amplitude for the resultant wave, as well as intensity. Now what is the condition for maximum amplitude and what is the condition for minimum amplitude? What about the path difference for the maximum amplitude as well as minimum amplitude? Let us look at those two also. Consider the condition for maximum amplitude. Condition for maximum amplitude. Keep the side heading as condition for maximum amplitude. If you look at the equation 6, here if the cos delta value is 1, then its value becomes maximum. So when cos delta is equal to 1, then its value becomes maximum. When the cos delta value is 1, when delta is equal to 2n pi, where n takes the values from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. For example, if n equal to 0, then cos delta value becomes 1. If n is equal to 1, cos delta value becomes 1. N is equal to 2. So on, if you substitute any value of the n, then cos delta value is always 1. Therefore, if you substitute these values in the equation 6, then the amplitude A is equal to square root of A1 square plus A2 square plus 2 A1 A2 into 1, because cos delta value becomes 1. Therefore, it is given by A is equal to square root of, again which is in the form of A plus B whole square format, A1 plus A2 whole square. Square and square root will get cancelled. So we only remains with amplitude A is equal to A1 plus A2. So this is the condition for the maximum amplitude of the resultant wave. Now coming to the path difference, let it be named it as equation number 7. Coming to path difference. Path difference, we know that path difference is equal to lambda by 2 pi into phase difference. Then substitute the value of phase difference, that is lambda by 2 pi into, here the phase difference value is 2n pi. Then pi will get cancelled, 2 will get cancelled. Therefore, the path difference, therefore I am writing here, the path difference for the maximum amplitude is equal to n lambda. So this is the condition for maximum amplitude in the sense constructive interference. Let it be named it as equation number 8. Now coming to the condition for minimum amplitude. Keep the side heading as condition for minimum amplitude. Minimum amplitude. In order to get the minimum amplitude, cos delta value becomes minus 1. When its value becomes minus 1? When? I am writing here. When cos delta is equal to minus 1, then we have delta value becomes 2n plus 1 into pi, where n takes the values from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. If we substitute the value of n as a 0, then cos delta value becomes minus 1. If we substitute the value of n as a 1, cos delta value becomes minus 1. Similarly 2, its value becomes minus 1 only. Similarly, if we substitute 3, its value becomes minus 1 only. Now substitute all these values in the equation 6. Then what happens? Then I am writing here, A is equal to square root of A1 square plus A2 square minus 2A1 A2, because cos delta value is minus 1. Therefore, its value becomes A is equal to square root of, which is in the form of a minus b whole square format. I wrote like that only, a1 minus a2 whole square. Then the square and square root will get cancelled. We only remains with a is equal to a1 minus a2. So this is the condition for minimum amplitude. Let it be named it as equation number 9. Let it be named it as equation number 9. Equation 9 represents the minimum amplitude condition of the resultant wave. Now coming to the path difference in the case of minimum amplitude. Therefore, we know that path difference is equal to 1 minute. I will write here path difference case. I will write here path difference is equal to same expression, that is lambda by 2 pi into phase difference. Here the phase difference value is 2n plus 1 into pi. If we substitute that value, therefore path difference P is equal to lambda by 2 pi into 2n plus 1 into pi. Therefore pi will get cancelled. Therefore the path difference condition, path difference, I am writing here, path difference is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. So this is the condition for path difference in the case of minimum amplitude. Let it be named as equation number 10. So this is regarding the principle of superposition of waves of same frequency but different phase. So all of you note down it. In the next class we are going to discuss interference of light and its daily life examples. Thank you all. Note down it. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Right. Note down it.